So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker. They finally did.
All eyes will be on tonight's match. We are in for a show.
Finally. After months of Nike dropping the ball, they've finally done something right. Caitlin Clark just got the spotlight she's earned. Her new commercial is here, and it hits hard, and like clockwork, the haters are in full meltdown mode. The outrage is loud, the comments are wild, and the salt levels off the charts.
Already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC. Now, we know fans has definitely been in odds with the company ever since signing Caitlin Clark. A lot of people feel as if they put Caitlin Clark on the back burner. I don't know, man. I'm a Nike fan. I know a lot of people going to disagree with me on this, but I think Nike was strategic with their people could be mad about it or feel whatever way they feel about it. But one thing I can tell you is that I feel as if they were strategic.
Nike just dropped the Kobe commercial for Caitlin Clark's new PE sneakers, and it finally feels like they remembered why they signed her in the first place. She's the player who brought women's basketball into the mainstream, packed arenas night after night, and turned every game into must-see TV. Now, she's got a commercial that actually matches her impact: bold, powerful, and unapologetic. And of course, the critics can't handle it. They're scrambling, angry, and louder than ever, which only proves one thing: she's doing exactly what stars do.
Clark and Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
Let's talk about what Nike just dropped, because this isn't just a promo, it's a message. When Caitlin Clark sits down, laces up those Kobe 5s, and her eyes shift into that cold, Mamba mode stare, Nike isn't just selling shoes, they're making it crystal clear who the face of this league is: the visuals. Next level. The lighting, the editing, the energy, all of it screams superstar. This is the kind of spotlight women's basketball has deserved for years, and Caitlin's finally getting it. No more low-budget ads or watered-down rollouts. This is primetime treatment.
We got something for Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. Where is the Mamba Caitlin? There we go. We have the Mamba logo. We have Caitlin on demon time right now. But yeah, it's good to note that they finally announced it as a Caitlin logo.
And here come the usual suspects, crawling out of the woodwork with the same tired complaints. Why is she getting all this attention? What about the other players? She's only in her second year. It's the same noise we've heard since Caitlin Clark turned pro, and it's all driven by one thing: denial. They just can't admit what's obvious to everyone else. Caitlin is the face of women's basketball. She moves the needle, brings in the fans, boosts ratings, and sells out arenas. And now, Nike finally had the guts to market her the way she deserves.
Now, people felt the type of way, about Caitlin Clark getting these PE shoes. A lot of people felt as if she should have her own signature shoe, which she should. She very should, but guys, I don't think there's any player that got a Kobe PE, bro. Like, do y'all know who Kobe was in the basketball world, bro? I'm just saying, like, Kobe didn't, allow, even his family, I'm pretty sure, is not just going to give his signature shoe to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, other NBA players ain't even got.
You know what the best part is? Those shoes sold out in 5 minutes. 5. People were camped out on the SNKRS app like it was a Travis Scott drop. The $190 retail. Gone before most even saw the buy button. Within 2 hours, pairs were already flipping on eBay for $375. By the end of the day, StockX had them averaging $365, with some hitting $800. That's not media spin. That's not fake hype. That's the Caitlin Clark effect: real demand, real impact, and real numbers to back it up.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here. And no, I don't want to pay $600 on.
If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, let's talk about why critics are losing it right now. Because Nike finally did what the numbers have been saying all along. Caitlin Clark is the biggest force in women's basketball. She's the reason WNBA viewership just hit its highest average in 24 years, 657,000 viewers per game. And of the 22 games that broke 1 million viewers, Caitlin's Indiana Fever were in 19 of them. She didn't just move the needle, she broke it, but here's what really has people stirred up. For months, Nike dragged its feet with Clark while putting their marketing muscle behind Aya Wilson's signature shoe. And now that Caitlin's finally getting her moment, the reactions say it all.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collab.
The Aya versus Caitlin debate spiraled fast, and not because of basketball, but because people refused to see it for what it really was, business. Nike was catching serious heat, even from its own former employees. Jordan Rogers, who spent 15 years at Nike, called them out directly, saying they had the biggest needle mover in American sports since Michael Jordan and still hesitated to go all in. Then came the real twist. Aya Wilson revealed she had known about her own signature shoe deal for 2 years. Yet when Caitlin Clark's Nike contract was announced, Aya's tweets and comments made it seem like she was being passed over. Cue the subtweets, the shade, and the passive-aggressive noise, all while she was quietly sitting on a deal she never mentioned publicly. That's not a snub, that's manufactured drama. And it only blew up because Caitlin Clark is bigger than the sport now. She's not just a player, she's a cultural moment, and some corners of the internet just can't handle it.
Stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature shoe.
Now Nike has finally gotten it right, and they're going all in on their biggest game changer. That Kobe commercial isn't just another ad. It's Nike waking up and realizing Caitlin Clark isn't someone they can treat like every other athlete, that she's not just a WNBA star, she's a cultural force. She's the reason families are showing up, kids are getting inspired, and even people who never watched women's basketball are now glued to every game. She's growing the sport in real time, and the Kobe connection. It's not some forced branding play. Caitlin's been rocking Kobe since college, calling them her magic shoes, her babies. So when she taps into that Mamba mindset in the commercial, it feels real. Kobe would have seen that same fire in her. The obsessive work ethic. The fearless mentality. The ability to raise the level of everyone around her. This ad isn't just a tribute, it's a passing of the torch.
The long-awaited, highly anticipated Caitlin Clark player exclusive, not her signature shoe. Remember, they're not creative enough to think of that. But that should be coming out in a few months as well. But the player exclusive, they're starting to give it the push. This is the rollout. We got a clothing line coming before the holidays. Let's see how many resources Nike puts behind Caitlin Clark now that we're going to start getting some of her merchandise coming out, and fans are indeed.
But here's what really has the haters losing sleep. Nike is finally treating Caitlin Clark like the superstar she is. Not a sidekick. Not a co-star. The main event, her signature shoe, is reportedly dropping later this year, and it's already expected to smash every record in women's sports marketing. This move flips the script on how the industry has treated women's sports for decades. Historically, female athletes have been sidelined in marketing, getting just 0.4% of all sports sponsorship money. But now, Nike is putting Caitlin front and center in massive campaigns, including their first Super Bowl ad in nearly 30 years. That's not just big, it's historic. The $28 million, 8-year deal she signed. It's already looking like one of the best investments Nike's ever made. It's not just the richest endorsement deal in women's basketball, it's proof that women's sports are finally being seen as commercially powerful, and Nike's bold move is sending a clear message to every other brand: the game has changed. Female athletes aren't just marketable, they're worth betting big on.
You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline in that was "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win, so win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you were just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Game Bridge, Wilson Basketball, have all figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlin Clark. Please, for the love of God, figure something.
The resale market doesn't lie. When Caitlin Clark's player-exclusive Cobes are selling for up to $8,000 on StockX, and even the $756 pairs are averaging $365, nearly double the retail price, that's not normal athlete demand. That's superstar status. That's Jordan-level cultural impact, and with only 13,000 pairs released in the initial drop, Nike barely scratched the surface of the demand. Anything with Caitlin's name on it is flying off shelves, and fast. Just look at the numbers. The WNBA hadn't seen a 7-figure TV audience in 16 years, until Caitlin Clark showed up. Now, it's become the norm. Her games average 1.09 million viewers, while games without her draw just 414,000. In arenas, the story is the same. Games with Caitlin Clark average 15,591 fans. Without her, just 7,645, that's a 105% spike. And her road games alone drive an 87% increase in attendance. Think about that, one player, accounting for over a third, 33.5%, of all WNBA attendance, despite playing in only a small portion of the total games. This isn't hype. It's historic.
I thought that these might not perform well, but just wait until I show you the stock numbers on these. Not only that, but apparently her jersey is in high demand too after she publicly defended Angel Reese. I didn't think that this colorway was going to do too well at first, but pre-sale is saying otherwise. These are currently pre-selling for over $300 and the retail is only $190. They drop on June 30th and the total stock on Nike US is just 13,000 pairs. For comparison, the Kobe 5 Eggplant had just 30,000 pairs on Nike.
The viewership numbers say it all. The 2024 NCAA Women's Championship, led by Caitlin Clark, pulled in 18.9 million viewers, over 4 million more than the men's final. For the first time ever, the women's game outdrew the men's on the biggest stage, and she's kept that momentum going in the pros. Her WNBA playoff appearances have shattered records. Game 2 on ESPN pulled 2.5 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game ever to air only on cable, but it's not just about her. Clark's presence lifts the entire league. Games played right after hers see a bump in ratings. Other players are selling more merch. Interest across the board is up. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. Not just game-changing, but league-changing.
It's viewed so far on NBA TV, 624,000 folks. We're talking 3 times the amount. We are talking 2 times the amount on a random channel called NBA TV. What's it going to take for these other games' viewership to start?
Nike is finally doing what they should have done months ago, backing the biggest name in women's sports like she deserves. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play the game, she changes it. She sells out arenas, breaks viewership records, and makes sneakers disappear from websites in minutes. The real surprise isn't that she got a proper commercial, it's that it took this long. That delay. That's the actual headline. While critics keep trying to downplay her success, Nike is cashing in on the one athlete who consistently moves the needle. Caitlin Clark is that girl. She's been that girl. And now, the brand that's built legends is finally treating her like one that they didn't just sign a star, they struck gold. Time to act like it.
Caitlin Clark, she's got it. She's got swagger. She's got, if you will, balls. She's tough, she's shrewd, she's not a good passer, she's all-time great. And she makes logo threes, and she makes them beautifully. She jump shoots the way Steph does from the logo, where she's not feet on the floor pushing set shots. She goes up, holds it, and flicks the wrist, and has incredibly underrated strength. She's just got all-time it factor. She's doing things on a nightly basis where you sit back and say, oh, she's selling them out like crazy. That's Jordan-esque. So in impact, she's already having Michael Jordan impact.
Nike's decision to develop a signature shoe for Caitlin Clark is more than just smart business, it's a major moment for women's basketball. In nearly 3 decades of the WNBA, only 12 women have ever received their own signature sneaker. Meanwhile, over 22 current NBA players have one right now. That gap says a lot. This move isn't just about selling shoes. Nike knows they'll never fully recoup that $28 million contract through sneaker sales alone. What they are doing is investing in cultural relevance. They're aligning their brand with the most impactful athlete in women's sports today, and making it clear they're part of her rise. Clark's signature sneaker, dropping later this year, will be more than just another release. It will be a symbol of real progress in how women athletes are marketed and respected. And when it flies off shelves, like her Kobe piece did in 5 minutes, critics will still try to downplay it. But it won't matter, because the market speaks. It speaks in ratings, sold-out games, record-breaking streams, and resale numbers. And every time Caitlin Clark hits the court, it gets louder.
It's good to see that not only Nike are doing this, but Nike actually are willing to say, you know what, yeah, we'll give Caitlin her PE. We'll give Caitlin her PE. And I wonder what way the Hatelans are going to twist this. I wonder what way the Hatelans are going to twist.
By finally positioning Caitlin Clark as a headline star, not a side note, not part of a group, but the main attraction, Nike is setting a new standard for how female athletes should be marketed. This isn't just a nod to equality, it's a smart, strategic move that proves women athletes can drive major business results on their own. Nike's shift signals real recognition, not tokenism. Clark isn't being added in as a diversity checkbox, she's front and center because she earns it. And that changes everything. Her presence is creating a ripple effect across the entire women's basketball landscape. More fans, higher viewership, bigger sponsorships, and growing cultural relevance. This is more than just a sneaker drop or a flashy commercial. It's a blueprint for how to market women's sports in a way that's bold, authentic, and commercially successful. Nike is finally on board, and it's about time. Let the critics complain. The rest of us are here to witness history. The Caitlin Clark era is just getting started, and now, Nike's finally riding the wave they should have been leading from day one.